Good morning, barangay officials. I am here in front of you to discuss some issues and to apply and to tell you that I have some action plans here regarding issues that we have in our community. Those issues are drought, floods, deforestation, and trash. So, if you're willing to listen and let me, then we can start. Those issues that I mentioned earlier is familiar, right? Since we are tasked to take care of our community and our nature, then we are obligated to think some better ways or action plans to protect our community and help saving our nature. So, as a youth, I would like to propose about my action plans regarding those issues to prevent hazardous and risky things. So, are you ready, officials? As you have seen in the picture, it was happened on May 2021. So, let us now focus on the first issue, which is the flood. We all know that flood is common, especially when there are storms or heavy rains. It is usually happened when there are storms, right? We all know that if there are heavy rains, so there will be lots of affected areas because of this. But our community is one of those affected areas. We or you officials don't want this happen, right? Or we don't want to experience that kind of situation. Maybe we can think for some better ways. But there is no need to think because I have already here my action plans to help maintaining or to help our community. In this period of time, we have to be critical and we have to be prepared for such things in order for us to be safe and secure ourselves in our community. It is so difficult to start, but what will happen to our community if ever? So today, as I have said, or as what I have said, I have my action plans here and I want you to be with me, officials. In the first list of my action plan, first we have to plant trees. We have to plant more trees in order to avoid those catastrophes and these floods. Yes, as you have seen the picture, we have already trees here, but we have to plant more for our future and for our own good. Second list, we have to clean our areas, our roads, and our small paths. Because it is not good to see that if there are floods or if there is flood, our garbages and waste are floating, right? So we have to clean our area. Let us now proceed to our next issue, which is drought. As you have seen in the picture, the soil was stiff, right? Especially when it is summer, the sun was too hot. And if we goes outside, we can feel the heat and we can expose our body too much to the sun. We all know that too much exposure of the sun can cause stroke. So we have to avoid too much exposure of the sun. As what I have said in the first issue, we have to plant trees. Therefore, in this issue, we should also plant more trees so that we can avoid too much exposure of the sun and too much heat. And if we can apply this to our community will become abundant of trees. Because it is so nice to see that we have lots of trees in our community. The next issue that I have seen in our community is deforestation. We all know that deforestation is the reason why there are floods happen, because there's no trees who will absorb the water inside. And as a caretaker of our nature and our community, we have ways to avoid this to happen again. We all know that there are laws that governs it, so we will display some notes or a reminder that deforestation is not allowed in our community. Instead of cutting trees, why not planting trees for our better future and to make our community green and clean? It is so nice to see that we or you officials are the one who leads for gaining a good outcomes of our community. We have to be responsible for protecting our nature. We all know that there are big impacts of deforestation, especially to animals. Because animals, trees are their homes, their foods as well. So, if we don't want this happen, we should not allow it here in our community. Deforestation is also the reason why floods may happen, because there will be no trees will absorb the water, as what I have said earlier. So, we have to be wise. Planting trees is the answer. There's no reason for us to object if this is only for our own good. So, are you with me, officials? Are you willing to help me? Are you willing to make this action plan happen? Since I already done discussing the three issues that we have in our community, which is the drought, floods, and deforestation, let us now proceed to the last issues that I have seen in our community, which is trash. As you have seen in the picture, there are lots of garbages and waste. It was not separated, right? As an action planner, we have to educate every person in the community about proper waste disposal. It is actually happens today since humans didn't look nature as beauty as it is. Officials, help me to make this action plan through. Also, we have to provide some trash in every location, but aside from that, we have to teach and make other people know the importance of proper waste disposal. We have to educate them to maintain the cleanliness of our community. And we have to avoid too much. And if we don't want to expense too much money, therefore we can use sacks as a sub of a trash. We all know that one of community goals is to maintain the cleanliness of our community. So officials, be with me in making this plan come true for our own good. Aside from displaying sacks or trash in every location, we can also make every family member or in every house, they should prepare 2 sacks if possible. 1 for biodegradable and 1 for non-biodegradable. We have to separate bio from non-bio. Through this, our goal to maintain the cleanliness might be effective and achievable. In these 4 issues that I've mentioned, we have to be responsible in making our community green and clean. Also, taking care of our nature is important, especially today. We have to be wise and a responsible one for our future and our community.